Hey everybody, welcome to Pack 1 Pick 1 number 222 on the Mana Leek. I'm John as always, and we have another pack of Theros Beyond Death. Except this one looks pretty fancy. This is a collector's booster, one of two actually that we're going to open this season, but this one's going to be a little bit later. But we're going to open this one today and talk about what we would pick Pack 1 Pick 1 if this was a very, very, very expensive draft. Now over on patreon.com/themanaleek, you can become a backer at the $5 level or above, and if you do, you get your chance to get all the cards, none of the cards, some of the cards out of the pack, whatever you happen to want. And this week, this collector's booster is going to Emilian Mihalash, is probably how you say that. If you want to get your chance to get in for the packs each week, make sure you're over there. You also work your way towards getting one of these play mats. You get to join the Discord, etc. But Emilian, let me know over on Patreon or in the Discord or wherever which card you want out of here. But let's open this and see what we would take Pack 1 Pick 1 if this was a draft. Now these have a weird breakdown of what's in them. And in fact, we got a very rare card right there indeed. A foil, not full art mountain. Foil, not full art mountain. Relatively rare and refusing to focus. Not the first pick, obviously. Next pick is Temple Thief, which hopefully will come into focus here. I think the foils are causing a bit of trouble. But yeah, Temple Thief, not a card that we're ever going to first pick. 1 and a black for a creature, human rogue. It's a 2/2. Can't be blocked by enchanted creatures or enchantment creatures. Big whoop. Up next, we've got ourselves a Flummoxed Cyclops. Flummoxed Cyclops is 3 and a red for a creature Cyclops. It's a 4/4 with reach. Whenever 2 or more creatures your opponents control attack, Flummoxed Cyclops can't block this turn. It's okay if you're in an aggro red deck and attacking anyways, but otherwise, big whoop. Camera, what's your issue here? Up next is an Unknown Shores, and you know what? I'm going to momentarily try to fix my camera here and fix the focus on it. That's right, you get some behind-the-scenes fixing going on here. High-quality entertainment on Pack 1 Pick 1 Tuesday. That's about where we want it right there. No more changing focus. Unknown Shores is a land you tap to add a colorless. You pay 1, tap to add 1 mana of any color. I think this is the worst way to fix your mana. There are just better ways of doing it. Up next is Chain to Memory, a single blue mana for an instant. Target creature gets -4/-0 until end of turn. Scry 2. Totally okay little combat trick, not something I'm going to go crazy on trying to get a whole bunch of these, but, you know, it's fine. Also, it super looks like Jace from Ixalan, but I guess it's not. Up next is Hyrax Tower Scout. Hyrax Tower Scout is 2 and a green for a creature human scout. It's a 3/3 when it ETBs, untap target creature. This just isn't good enough for Theros, typically, not in limited. I want my green creatures to be Typhons. I want my green creatures to be escaping. I want them to be doing stupid, broken stuff, and this is not. So certainly not a first pick, and a card that I actually don't really try to put in my deck too much at all. Up next is Utopia, the twice favored. Well, here's a card I definitely try to put in my deck. 1 green blue for a legendary creature human wizard. She's a 2/2 with Constellation. Whenever an enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. That creature gains flying until end of turn. Very good card. If she lives like even a few turns, you're typically going to get just insane amounts of value. Your creatures are going to be way better than they should be, and your opponent just might be dead. I love this card. I would consider first picking it if the pack is weak. Let's hope the pack's not weak, because these collectors packs should have value in them. But yeah, let's keep her in frame right now as our current first pick. Up next is Blood Aspirant. Blood Aspirant is 1 and a red for a creature Satyr Berserker. It's a 1/1 whenever you sacrifice a permanent, put a +1/+1 counter on it, and you can pay 1 red, tap it, and sack a creature or enchantment to deal 1 damage to target creature. That creature can't block this turn. Great card in the black-red sacrifice deck. It's just going to do exactly what you want. In the red aggro deck, I don't know that you have time to be messing around with tapping this and sacking and etc. when you could just use something like Rapid Flames instead. I don't typically want to first pick a Blood Aspirant, and I certainly wouldn't first pick it over Utopia. Up next is one of the foil full art forests. We have another full art basic behind this one, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. We're not first picking it, of course. It is a plains, also pretty and foily. What are these? Ancillary cards? Yes, I've never seen this card. Mind Rack Harpy, 3 and a black for an enchantment creature. Harpy, it's a 3/2 with flying. At the beginning of combat on your turn, each player puts the top 3 cards of their library into their graveyard. So you mill yourself and you mill them. That's not something that I would want to do in Theros Limited, even if this was a card that I had. It's a 4/3 it's a 3/2 flyer for 4, which is an okay card, but milling your opponent is definitely a downside in this format. You're going to help them get their escape cards. Milling yourself is nice, but I don't think it's worth it, and it's not as good as Utopia, so we're not first picking Mind Rack Harpy. Our full art rare is a pretty spicy one. That is a full art Dream Trawler sitting there. 2 white, white, blue, blue for a creature Sphinx. It's a 3/5 with flying and lifelink. Whenever you draw a card, Dream Trawler gets +1/+0 until end of turn. Whenever Dream Trawler attacks, draw a card. Discard a card. Dream Trawler gains hexproof until end of turn. Tap it. When Dream Trawler enters the battlefield, you win the game. Yeah, Dream Trawler is a mistake of a card. I don't know how they allowed this to be printed at Rare. I looked at the daily MTG M files where you actually get to see some comments from developers as they developed the cards, as cards went through iterations. The second last comment on Dream Trawler was a small change to it, and then comma, we must have gotten it right this time, right? And the last comment was the ASCII art of the guy shrugging. That's the insight into Dream Trawler's development. They didn't even know what they were doing. Huge mistake for Limited. Obvious first pick here right now. Yeah, this card's a problem, and I think hurts the format quite a bit. Behind that full art Dream Trawler, we have a full art foil Cunha Rose, Hound of Athreos. Cunha Rose is 1 white black for legendary creature Hound. It's a 3/3 with Vigilance, Menace, and Lifelink. Creature cards in graveyards can't enter the battlefield. That means yours too. Players can't cast spells from graveyards. That means yours too. Cunha Rose is a totally fine card. It does great stuff. It can screw up your plan a little bit, so you do have to be careful. But of course, while screwing up your plan, you have a 3/3 Vigilance, Menace, Lifelink, which is pretty darn nice itself. I wouldn't first pick this in a ton of packs. I would typically take the removal over this card almost always, and almost regardless of what removal it was, but we're not taking it over Dream Trawler, that's for sure. Behind that, we've got a Constellation Renata called to the Hunt, 2 green for legendary creature Demigod. She's a star 3. Her power is equal to your devotion to green. Each other creature you control enters the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter on it. Totally solid card, does exactly what green wants to do. I would first pick it in some packs, not over removal, and certainly not over a Dream Trawler. And we have a foil Constellation Annex, hardened in the forge, 1 red for a legendary enchantment creature Demigod, star 3, power equal to devotion to red. Whenever Annex or another non-token creature you control dies, create a 1/1 red satyr creature token with this creature cannot block. If the creature had power 4 or greater, you make 2 of them. Annex is totally fine. I think I prefer Renata just a little bit over Annex, but Annex is pretty darn good as well. Not even in the conversation with Dream Trawler though. And we got ourselves a foil satyr to go with Annex and a foil wolf to go with something. Wolf Willow Haven. So yeah, that seems like a pretty easy first pick. Full art, extended art, I guess. Dream Trawler. Very, very, very good card. Problematic for the format, and problematic for interesting discussions of Pack 1 Pick 1, I suppose. But that's going to wrap it up for Pack 1 Pick 1. So that is Emilian's pack that they won. So definitely let me know over on Patreon, Discord, etc. what cards you want out of this, if you want the whole pack, etc. And I'll get that sent out. And if you want your chance to get all the cards, none of the cards, some of the cards out of Pack 1 Pick 1s, make sure you go over to patreon.com/themanaleak and become a backer at the $5 level or above. We will be doing mystery boosters at some point, because holy moly, do I want to play that format so much. But yeah, check that out. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, you can find me over on Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook. You can find me at patreon.com/themanaleak, as I have talked about. And of course, you can go to inkedgaming.com/themanaleak to let them know that I sent you if you're going to make a purchase there, and it helps the channel out directly. If you do have any questions, comments, or suggestions, though, let me know. Otherwise, I'll see y'all next time.